Awesome, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for bearing with us. Was having a few technical difficulties, but we were able to figure that out right away. Welcome and good day to our BizLaunch webinar, Best Researching Tools for Entrepreneurs. We're really excited this morning to be able to bring you this information to help you as a business owner to really understand what is out there, what's available, what are some tools that we have that are awesome. So with that, we're going to jump right in. That is myself, Tara Palacios. I will be moderating with a very dear friend, colleague, and associate, Alexandra Fox, with the Arlington Public Library. She is one of my favorite people that I have the honor and pleasure of working with each and every day. She is Arlington County's business librarian and is completely knowledgeable about all things research related. And in Arlington County, we have really put aside some resources and money to be able to help our businesses to have access to the right tools that they need in order to grow and to expand their business. So to say that we are super excited today to talk about this and to get into the nitty-gritty is putting it very mildly. We are super duper excited. And throughout the year, Alexandra is able to meet with people one-on-one. We're going to tell you how you can do that. Also, there's workshops that she offers, as well as the consultation, and of course, the databases, and so much more. We're going to get into some super cool research pages later today. And definitely keep in touch with us. Alexandra, this is her Twitter handle. It's my Twitter handle. You'll be able to get information that can really help and assist your business to grow. And I haven't used this word yet, Alexandra, but all of this information is a good four-letter word, which is free. And we really appreciate you all joining us today for lunch. How to really enjoy today's webinar. Everybody right now currently is in listen-only mode. We also have some people that are Facebook Living with us. Thank you so much for joining us, Facebook Live. But if you have a question in the webinar, feel free to raise your hand and to type it in the chat window. My dear colleague, Rohini Basha, will be taking and fielding all of those questions as we go through. We're going to wait until the end of the webinar to answer them all. So very, very excited about that. And if you have additional questions, don't think of this as a one-up. We are taping this webinar. It will be available to you all later on, but we'll also be sharing the PowerPoint slides as well as we go through today. So there's a lot of hyperlinks and there's information. And the question that you may be asking yourself is, why researching tools? Like, why are we doing this? And the answer is because knowledge is power. The information that you can get to help your business grow, to ensure that you succeed, all depends on the market research and data that's out there and that's available to you. Many times a business needs to make decisions, tough decisions. Am I going to grow? Am I going to hire employees? Where are there opportunities? What are some of the ratios, the financial ratios that I need to have as I'm developing my business plan? There's a myriad of reasons as to why this information is important. And I can't emphasize enough that in utilizing and accessing the databases that the library provides for free is priceless. Because many times, if you look to pay for this out in the common market, it will charge you, the fees are anywhere between $2,000 and $10,000. In this instance, if you're in the DC, Metro, Virginia area, it's free. Get a library card, and you'll be able to access this data. If you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out something, use your library card and access this information. I can't emphasize enough in the beginning as we're jumping in why the importance of researching tools are to you and your business. So I'm going to throw it over to my dear friend Alexandra Fox, but in the meantime, this is how the agenda is going to look for today. We're going to go over Alexandra's going to go over the available small business research guide. We're going to take a case study and walk through a yoga studio and accessing data mining and getting information. We're going to go through that process. And then we're going to look at some sample business plans. So we really want to make this very an aha moment for you, where you leave out and you're like, oh, I didn't know this information was available. And oh my gosh, they're showing me how to use it. Keep all of this in mind as we go through this dynamic session on market research tools. And looking forward to jumping in with my dear friend, Alexandra.
Good afternoon, Tara. It's great to be back. And just to get started, Tara mentioned the word free. And anyone who lives or works in the tri-state area can actually get an Arlington Public Library card. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But just as we get started, I think most people who come to me to talk to me about what information they're looking for, I often sort of become more of a librarian in this and that, asking them, what information are you looking for? Why do you need this information? What context do you need it in? And it's sort of good to get people thinking about what it is they're really looking for and why. You know, whether you're looking to research a business idea, you're trying to understand the size of a market, understand who your competitors are. These are all questions that I think people need to sort of be thinking about when you're looking to start a business, or even if you're looking to grow your business. Well, is there a question about the industry? Is the industry changing? What are some of the challenges in that industry? What are some of the weaknesses of the industry? So really thinking through, taking some time to actually ask those questions, and then figure out how am I going to spend my time researching those, looking for those answers.
So being really clear from the beginning.
From the beginning.
What information do I need, and not have too much that you're trying to do.
And I think people just need to understand, like, okay, maybe I need to understand who my competitors are. Maybe understand who my target audience is. Do I know who my target audience is? What's going on in my industry? In terms of even looking at what opportunities exist for me to grow my business by looking at an industry report. So really asking some of the smart questions. And I think some people come and say, I'm looking for this. It's like, well, what do you mean by that? So really trying to breaking it down. Another area that I think, people on the call may already have registered a business or are in business, or you will be filing your business registration. It's really important to get your classification codes for your business or your lines of business. The federal government has two classification codes. One is the standard industry classification, which is older, and then there's the NAICS code, which is the newer one. So every industry has a classification code. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is that the majority of the commercial databases that exist out there are organized by these codes. So think of the industry codes as keys to the kingdom. That's how I like to explain it to people.
Keys to the kingdom. I like that.
There we go. It'll make things easier when you're searching the products that we have. Okay? The other point is actually considering your search terms. As businesses evolve and industries evolve, for example, like fitness studios. Now we have running studios. We have yoga studios.
We're doing a lot of that.
Think about doing some pre-work and thinking about some of the synonyms that describe perhaps your service, your product. Are there any new terms in your industry that people are using to describe their products or services? So create some synonyms. People are often thinking, well, this is what it's called. Well, maybe it's called something else that we're not we don't know that term, and we're not searching on that term.
Maybe sometimes if someone's having a hard time finding information, it could just be that the terms that they're using aren't the vernacular that is being used in the industry.
Correct. Or, and there's evolving terms. Like, for example, hyperlocal wasn't around 10 years ago.
No, it was not. Right. But everything is hyper-local now.
Exactly. And the last point is really important, and I want to say that in a former life, working in a consulting firm, all the consultants would be told, if you spend more than 15 minutes looking for information, you need to reconsider your source. Time is money. And while, the web has some great, there's excellent primary resources out there, government resources, but you really do want to think about, am I using the right tool for the questions I want to answer?
Okay.
So, today I'm going to show you some premium content. There's some premium resources. Tara alluded to the fact that they're databases, many of them are, that Arlington Public Library actually pays for. And with an Arlington Public Library card and your PIN, you'll be able to access these products, these databases, and some ebooks remotely. So you don't necessarily have to come into the library. But these are products that have been vetted and that are published by reputable publishers. A lot of the work has already been done, and there's a lot of secondary research in them. So, for example, I'll show you some industry overviews that you can get easily. So again, rethink your resources. If you're not finding what it is that you need or you're not sure, I'm going to invite you to actually check out our small business research guides that we just recently launched.
And they look so cool.
Oh, good to
They
hear.
look awesome.
Great.
Yes.
So the next slide is just to give you, for those of you who may not know, this is Arlington Public Library's website, and there's our URL. And I'd just like to point out the three black navigation blocks in the right-hand corner. Under events, Arlington Public Library, actually, we provide over 3,000 enriching educational events a year.
Whoa, now I didn't know it was that much.
3,000.
3,000.
And they're all free. So it can range from story time to author talks. So, for example, last week we had Zadie Smith come in.
Very nice.
And then we also have free educational events around all sorts of topics, personal finance, job search, technology, and so on. So we really have many free resources, free events for people to attend, and you don't have to be an Arlington resident to attend. The second box is our search box, and that will search not only our books in our collection, but also our digital content, and also the guides that we have available to you. Now, the third one is the Explore tab, and I would like to we're going to click on that, and I'm going to show you a nice menu of the resources and the services that we make available. So remember Explore. That's a really important tab.
Okay.
So there's a variety of links on here, and Tara mentioned, and I just mentioned the library card. Under the services category, there's a link that's titled Accounts and Borrowing. You can go on there right now and click in there and click on Get a Free Library Card. You can register right away.
Oh, wow.
And you can get a library card online, and it's actually good for 30 days. You'll have to come into the library and show some ID to actually activate it, but it's instant.
Oh, wow.
Instant. So you can also invite you to go there if you don't have a card. And then also I want to point out under our e-collection. So we have, as I said, different content formats. Under the digital magazines, just to point out if you didn't know this already, we do have The Economist, Inc. magazine, and Entrepreneur magazine.
Oh, those are all excellent.
And these are all free and can be delivered to you monthly.
Because they cost a pretty penny.
They do.
Oh my gosh.
So we do have a digital magazine's product.
Nice.
And then in the far bottom right corner, there is a category called Explore More. So we want to remember Explore and Explore More.
Okay.
The Explore More actually page will take you to a page for all that is categorized by content. And under the Explore More page, there's a category called Small Business. This is just, for now, this is a navigation that we have.
Okay.
But I think you'll be pleased with what you see. So we're going to go to the next page.
Let's go to it.
And this is actually our Small Business Research Guides page.
Very nice.
It's fairly new. And actually, because of the size of the screen, we'll just click on the next, we'll get to the next slide.
Okay.
And then, so here are just some of these information zones that have been, the content areas that have been created. And so we have research and industry, research and company, research consumers, and so on. And these guys, think of them as your one-stop shopping.
Oh, nice.
Or in terms of looking for what information, what resources are available to research these respective areas.
So as we've defined what we want to research, then we can go to this portal and it's divided up by what we're looking for.
Correct.
Nice.
Correct.
Okay.
And each of these guides have resources that are premium content resources that we subscribe to. Okay. There's also recommended web resources like government sources. And then we also have, we'll point you to resources that are still in the library, that are just not digital yet.
Okay.
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 So we're going to first look at the Research and Industry Small Business Research Guide. So again, just to point out, on the right side, we have on the web and in the library. And most of these guides are organized this way. And this first and foremost, I think I mentioned the codes earlier. They're really important, and they will help you easily locate reports and also identify companies or competitors in your space. Let's scroll down a little further on this page. And here is a list of our premium sites. Again, these are sites that we subscribe to and that you can access with your Arlington Public Library card. The first site, which I'm going to demo, is Business Insights Essentials. Okay. And Tara, this is a product you'll find in most academic libraries. Okay. Okay.
So like universities like George Mason, UVA, they'll have access to the Business Insights Essentials.
Correct. Correct. And what I like about this product, it does provide an industry sector overview. And you can use actually your NAICS code. So we can look up our NAICS code. For the example we're going to show is the yoga studios. Okay. But this database is one. We're going to scroll down a little bit further, and I want to show you some other things.
Oh, I love this one.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to just so that there's another section in the Research and Industry Guide for websites. And these are some recommended sites that I let people know about when they're researching industry. I know you mentioned briefly market research reports.
Yes.
There is the Small Business Development Center has a site, and they actually make available over 50 market research reports.
Whoa.
Which is really great, and that's that's free. These are free
and
on the web.
Real time, like it's 2018 data about the industry.
I can't vouch for their site.
Okay.
But for in Business Insights Essentials, most of the content was within 2017 or 2018.
Nice.
Yeah. So they are current.
Okay.
So what we're going to do with the next page is we're going to actually we're going to go to the NAICS code site.
Okay.
And this is from the census, and if you just Google NAICS census, you'll find this page. And just to facilitate things, I did a quick search on yoga. And I wanted to see what was the NAICS code that explains the yoga instruction, okay, like a yoga studio. So 611699, that's the code. It's a bit broad as a category, all other miscellaneous schools and instruction, but that's the code that's used to describe yoga instruction.
Oh,
okay?
Wow.
So we're going to use that code when we go into Business Insights Essentials.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so now if you're going to click on any of our premium content or databases or our ebooks, you'll be presented with this interim page. So this will require you to put in your library card and your 4-digit PIN.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So at this point, when you enter this, you'll be actually logged into a session. So suppose you're going to be on our site for an hour or so, you won't have to continually log in to each database.
Okay.
So let's suppose we're going to put in our library card number and our PIN.
Okay. Boom. We did that very quickly.
And so here is our page to the Business Insights Essentials product. And right away, we have our code that we just identified for yoga studios, and we plug that in.
Okay.
And then I also selected a filter under industry.
Look.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So now, just as in an effort to just save some screens, what I've done is I've copied the first search result, and that actually showing you there's an industry overview for yoga and wellness from the Encyclopedia of Emerging Industries, 2018. So there's the new content that we're looking for. Okay. And below that, I've just showed a snapshot of the beginning of the report. These reports are typically a few pages.
Okay.
And what's nice is that this is going to give you an overview of the industry, the background, who are the major players, what's happened in the industry, and also going to give you a quick, what we call bibliography at the end for you to cite.
Okay.
So the Business Insights Essentials is a great place to get an industry overview for your industry.
And I love it because what they've done is they've put together some of the percentages and the numbers that you need to know as a business or for your business plan.
Yeah.
You know, when people are asking, well, is this a growing market, or what percentage of the market can you capture? You know, you've got this information right at your fingertips, like right away.
And these reports are actually purchased from a third-party market research firm, and you
can cite this.
And you can cite this, and this is included in the product, in the Business Insights Essentials product. But just to actually just let your listeners know as well that if there is an industry that you're unable to find an industry overview for, feel free to contact me. There are other resources in the community that I can refer you to, because you know there are some, for example, like there's a food truck industry overview. It just doesn't exist in this product. You can find it elsewhere for you.
Oh, very nice. So even if you're in here, you're dabbling around and you're looking for the content and information, oh my gosh, I can't find this. There may be another avenue that you could pursue to get that information.
There may be another resource that I can refer you to.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
So moving forward, we're going to look at the next research guide is researching a company.
Okay.
Now, for this, and this is again, these research guides are found on the Small Business Research Guides page. The first thing I want to point out on this page is that we just have some information on, private and public companies. Now, many people who are looking to start a business are probably not going to be competing with a publicly traded company. They're probably competing with local companies in the area. And I just like to say the private companies don't have to report anything on their operational or financial.
Yeah.
So we have some products that do track private companies and can provide information. Okay. But again, it is difficult to find information on private companies. Again, if there is, if someone's having trouble finding companies in a certain sector or information, on these companies, if we don't have it, I can refer you to other sources.
Now, does it come to a point where you pay a third party to be able to access some of the private data, or is that information, is it worth it continue to pursue if it's really needed?
If you're needed, like for example, there are some businesses that are private, and that if you need that information to get some information, for example, on their financials,
Yes.
you do need to look for other sources that perhaps you can get some estimated
Okay.
financial information.
That makes sense.
So I think, again, but we want to try to, our goal here is to provide you with these free resources on our site. And if we are unable to provide that information, you can always feel free to contact. I get questions all the time from people, who are like, do you know of another resource that I can go to?
That's awesome.
Hopefully that's free.
Okay.
So again, with the companies, we have our codes, and I really have to say, knowing the codes will help you identify your competitors. Let's scroll down a little bit more on this page, and we're going to get to some of our premium content again. And these guides are organized by the task at hand.
Okay.
Let's see.
My little guide just disappeared for some reason. Thank you.
So these guides are organized by the task at hand. So in this case, we're going to have that we see the Business Insights Essentials again, but there's a description that describes how, the public company profiles and what you can find in them. Business Insights also has excellent, we have a full range of company histories, financial information, investment reports, and you can also find some SWOT reports.
Oh, very nice.
Typically, it's Fortune 50 companies.
Okay.
That's the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And that's actually worth looking at. For companies in your industry, you may not be competing with them, but to see where are their strengths, weaknesses, or opportunities are. Maybe that can sort of line up to what you're thinking about, your business. ProQuest Newspapers is another product that we subscribe to, and what's really nice is once you know your code or your company, you can actually search on that company and you can find the latest newspaper articles on that company. So rather than going to Google and looking around, this is all sort of, you have the tools in front of you, and you have the filters by which to look for certain types of content.
Which takes it beyond just a simple Google search.
Completely.
Because now what you're doing is you're going apples to apples, and you're able to use key terms to find the information.
Correct. Yeah.
Which sometimes, sometimes you're looking for an article. I read something about this company, and I know I read about it in the Times or the Post or somewhere, but you can't find it anymore.
Yes. Yeah, this is an option. I should say, not everyone may have a subscription to the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times or the Washington Post.
Even the Economist.
Yeah,
come on.
That's true. This is newspapers, but typically, if you hit that certain number of free articles, you hit the that
firewall.
Here you have full text, and the articles are actually uploaded early in the morning.
Love it.
So they're all there. The next product I want to just point out to you for our company research is referenceUSA. And Tara, referenceUSA. We've had it.
I love this database.
We've had it now. I think we've had it for over 20 years.
Wow.
And what I like about referenceUSA, it's a very good source for researching private companies. And we're going to look at it in a little bit. But what's nice is that the database provider they do vet private companies, and the public company information is easily found because the public companies do file with the SEC. They have required filings. But what's nice about referenceUSA is that if you were looking to do perhaps a review of your competitors, you can easily plug in a code, set a geography. Let's suppose we're going to look for yoga studios in the metro area. We can easily do that.
Okay.
Suppose we wanted to find perhaps a sales lead list. We can do the same thing. Suppose
we're
going to be selling to yoga studios. We can easily get this information. So they do provide a download functionality, and you can actually export this out. Let's look at the next part of this guide.
Okay.
So there are some websites, and people do come in and ask for lists, the top private companies or top public companies.
We actually get that question quite a bit.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. And Forbes has a great guide every year that's published. It's actually the companies is a very rich site. On the research company's guide that we have, I'm not showing it now, but in the library there is a resource, and I think everyone in the area should know about it. It's the Washington Business Journal's Book of Lists.
Oh, that Book of Lists is awesome.
And it's a supplement that comes out every winter, typically January.
It's very expensive.
It is very expensive. It's a supplement, and we actually have it available for our small business owners and also for our job seekers.
Ooh.
And it's available at our reference desk on the second floor of Central Library.
Oh,
it's a carded item because it has such great content. So that's another resource for looking at local private or public companies that are in certain areas. So the Book of Lists has many different categories.
Oh, I love it.
But so let's go. We're going to click further, and we're going to go back to Business Insights. Since we're on the topic of yoga studios, I'm just going to search for Yoga Works. I know that's a company that has multiple studios. I think there's one in Arlington. And I'm going to do a quick search. Let's do it. Okay. So this is really great. It's giving us, again, it's coming from 2018 content.
Nice.
And we have a quick description. And we have some sales information. And let's just click it.
See what we get.
Okay. So we're going to have a repeat of some of the content, which is great. So we have some information on their sales.
Very nice.
We have employees. And then we have some companies of similar revenue. They may not be related to yoga, I don't believe. But then we also have on the right side, remember we were looking at industry, industry overviews? If you know a name of a company that you want to learn more about the industry that company is in, you can go to Business Insights Essentials, search for the company, and every company snapshot will have a link to the industries that it's in.
Very nice.
Okay.
Right there, that's competitive information, and we could use that.
Yeah. So one could actually just click, and there's the NAICS code. See the NAICS code? It's there.
Yep.
What's also nice about this product, in addition to providing a company snapshot, it does actually link to, so if we were to click on company histories or market share, that, there will be information on that company where it stands. So again, it's one-stop shopping. You can, and every company, there may be different company information facets for that, but this is just what's available for now.
I really like it, and I like that. Say, for instance, I'm getting into the yoga industry, and I know someone that's a leader in the industry, I can get all kinds of data mining here. That's really, really helpful. And even so I think the companies with similar revenue, those are in all the health-related fields.
I believe so, yes.
So say I'm doing yoga, but I'm also going to offer massage or spa-like services. Boom, there it is.
You can get that.
How many employees, the sales per employee. I mean, this is really great information.
And it's just in one place.
Yeah.
You don't have to go searching around.
Through different databases to find information. It's all, boom, it's all right here.
Exactly.
Love it.
So we just looked at Business Insights Essentials, and now we're going to go to referenceUSA.
Okay.
And let me just give you just some background. You may have heard of Hoover's.
Yes.
Or Dun & Bradstreet.
Yes.
Okay, so this is actually another publisher of public and private company information. Okay. referenceUSA has what we like about referenceUSA is that all the companies, whether they're public or private, are contacted every year 4 to 6 times a year. So for that mom and pop shop in Arlington, there's the vendor, the database vendor they're calling that business 4 to 6 times a year to verify that they're still in business. I should also say referenceUSA business location data is what Google, Yahoo, and Bing use.
Oh.
So when they call to verify,
you didn't know that? Yeah. No.
So when they call to say, okay, X business, are you in business? They will say, we are the leading provider for business location information in these 3 search engines. We want to make sure your information is correct, and they will ask them questions.
Very nice.
So they are tracking private companies over time. So I'm going to show you the U.S. businesses module. There's a lot of products in here.
I see there's the Canadian, which is quite interesting.
We have Canadian. There's also new businesses. As well.
Nice.
You can narrow it down. But let's take a look at the U.S. businesses. And the screen I'm showing you here, and again, an effort to save time because there's a lot of screens, is I'm going to U.S. businesses advanced search. Okay. Now, referenceUSA, they have verified businesses in green. You see that V?
Yeah.
That means that it's been phone verified and quality checked in the last year.
Wow.
That they say this business does exist.
Okay.
So we're going to use the facets on the left under keyword SIC or NAICS. And we're going to plug in yoga instruction. I don't know the code for the SIC code for yoga instruction, but the database, there's sort of a one-to-one relationship, and it's going to find it in there when I do a search for any keyword. referenceUSA has been around a really long time, and in my experience, the SIC codes tend to be more on point in this product than other products. So we know that the SIC code for yoga instruction is 799949. Okay, and then below, I'm going to narrow down by county. You can do a search for all the businesses that are classified as yoga, providing yoga instruction in a zip code, in a neighborhood, in a city, or anything. So it's really, the filters are pretty robust. So right now, I'm going to search businesses that are classified by yoga instruction in Arlington County.
And you're only doing verified?
Only verified. Yeah, because we don't really want the unverified or the closed. No.
Okay.
Some people come in and they'll say, I want to have a list of all the closed businesses in this zip code.
Oh, wow.
And yes.
And you could search.
You can search
that.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
There's
Okay.
multiple ways to get to it.
Okay.
So we're going to search. And right off the bat, which is really nice, this gets back to identifying competitor lists. There are 13 businesses that are classified as providing yoga instruction.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
The vendor will classify the business. So when they call to get some information, they're going to apply a classification code to it. Are these classifications 100% accurate all times? No.
Okay.
But that's just the nature of
the nature of data,
yes.
Right? There's a percentage that might not be clean.
Exactly. Exactly. So at the bottom, actually, we happen to see the Yoga Works that I mentioned earlier. That's in Arlington. And then we actually see Core Power Yoga, and on the right side we see Corporate Tree. And so these are two potential locations of that business. So it does denote some relationship to a parent company.
Okay.
So let's suppose, and this is a product that many people use, honestly, to download mailing lists as well. This is a download. Let's suppose we want to just capture this list of 13 records.
Okay.
The next slide, we'll be able to select them.
Okay.
And then the next slide, we're going to be able to download them.
Nice.
So here, this is downloadable to an XLS file.
Okay.
It's also downloadable as a CSV file, and you can you can move it over to a contact management system or anything. But what's really nice is that you have a list. You can label that Excel spreadsheet, that sheet, yoga studios in Arlington. You don't have to go back and recreate that search. You have a search
it's
already.
all laid out right
exactly.
there.
And this could either be a competitor list, this could be a mailing list. I do have plenty of businesses who use referenceUSA for mailing lists. So, for example, we had an audiologist who said that the mailing list was very successful for his audience because his audience liked to receive mail to their older population.
Okay.
Right?
So makes sense.
He found it very valuable when he targeted certain consumers. And that information is also available.
Now, question for you. Does it have emails?
It has some emails, but you have to pay for those emails.
Okay.
referenceUSA does have a marketing arm, and I have referred many business owners to referenceUSA for custom marketing campaigns.
Okay.
But again, our angle is that we're providing the information for free.
And this is awesome.
It's a starting point.
Yeah.
The next slide, I just wanted to show you a sample record of a business.
Okay.
And this happens to looks like a new business in Arlington called Apex Yoga. And as you can see, it's classified, NAICS code and SIC code.
Has both.
Yes. And then on the next slide, I'm just going to show you some of the information that businesses really find valuable when they come in into research. So it looks like this business has been in the database for a year. It doesn't always necessarily correlate. They have been in business for 2 years, but the database, referenceUSA has found them. They've been tracking them already now for 1 year. The location of employees is 1 to 4, and the estimated location sales volume, that number is actually coming up as a result of a modeling formula that's looking at the type of business, yoga studio, where is it in Arlington County, how many location employees do they have, 1 to 4, and how long they have been in business.
Oh, wow.
So this is actually an industry formula, and that number is right now it's really estimated with sales volume. So, and I will say for businesses that have been in the database a long time, the numbers get even better.
Oh, wow.
I had one restaurateur who was in business for 25 years say to me, how did they get that information?
Oh, wow.
And it was all because it was modeled data over time, and they were collecting information on them. What's nice too is that for square footage, we have a sense of how large their business is. Under their credit rating score, it varies between ABC and U meaning unknown. And the last time referenceUSA staff called them to verify their business was in February 2018, which is fairly recent.
Wow.
For those people who are working on their business plan and their financials, each business has an estimated range of how much they're spending on these respective areas.
I think this is priceless information.
You do.
Because many times as a startup or a new business, or even if you're doing another project, you don't know how much am I going to pay on average on advertising, or how much should I budget for my technology. And this information, based on the industry, is here. And so you can get an idea versus trying to guess. Correct.
So this is just a sample report, and these reports on any company can be downloaded to, as I showed you, or just even downloaded in a report format.
Okay.
So let's look at the next one.
This is a lot.
It is a lot.
We just started.
We have a lot to go through. But I will tell you, researching consumers, I think, is the #1 topic people come in and ask for help for.
I can imagine that.
Okay.
Because we want to know what is in the psyche of our customers.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And I think that this particular guide will get a lot of use.
Okay.
In an effort to also show you, now I guess I invite everyone also to bookmark these guides, these respective guides as well, if you're interested to go back to them.
Okay.
I'm only going to show you one of the databases on here, but there are other products below. Let's just click further, just to let you know that we do have ebooks. These are all titles from a publisher called New Strategist.
Wow.
And they've been leaders in understanding demographics. And these books are fairly current. They're ebooks. You can access them with your library card. And we do refer people to them to understand specific buying patterns. Yes, for these target audiences. So, and these are ebooks that we purchase, again, that you can access remotely.
Okay, so just by clicking on the link here, I'd be able to get more information on the American marketplace.
Yes, so if you click on any of these links, these ebooks, it'll prompt you either for your library card, or if you're already authenticated, it'll take you right to the product.
Oh, very nice. And this is the question I get. How do I work with Gen Xers?
Oh, really?
How do I work with millennials? They're my target market. How do I? And bing, bang, boom.
Here we go.
There we go.
Yes.
Thank you for this.
We've purchased these over the years.
Y'all see why I like Alexandra so much, right?
Okay, so we're going to go to business decisions. So
Okay.
I'm going to tell you about this product. We've had it for many years, and what we like about it is that it combines census data and also Bureau of Labor Statistics expenditure data, along with third-party market research. And it not only provides data in information in tabular format, but also in a GIS, sort of in a mapping tool.
Okay.
And this is very helpful for people. In addition, you can identify down to a neighborhood or street level to understand those consumers. Okay.
And what's interesting, I think, too, is a lot of the GIS kind of mapping stuff can be quite expensive.
Correct.
Like if you're out in the public space, try to create a mapping of a particular community.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the data and the mapping is out there, but it may be for what you're looking to do, it may be more expensive. Yes.
Okay.
So Business Decision is one of our few databases that does require a second level of authentication. So when you log into this product, it'll just give you this screen. Now, there's an option to actually use our Express login. This is sort of like an Express search.
Okay.
Or you can actually create an account, your own sort of space in the database. But again, you're not going to be charged because at this point, our system knows that you're part of Arlington Public Library and that you can use this product. So I tell people, just use the Express login. It's an easy way to go unless you want to create an account and have your own sort of private space.
Okay.
We really don't know what the motivation is behind many of these searches, but let's just go to the next screen. And getting back to, let's see, can we go, let's see if we go to the next one. I think there may be, let's keep going. Okay, so I apologize everyone on the call. This is the page, the next page, the first page you'll get when you log into Business Decision. And since we're looking at yoga studios, I'm just thinking, well, maybe we'll look in Roslyn. Who are the consumers who live in Roslyn?
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name my project. That's my first thing. Like we name any document, Word document, any file. I'm going to name consumers in Roslyn, and then here is where the real robust value comes in. We can select a preset area that we want to learn more about. So we can do, typically I don't tell people to do city depending on the size of the city, but we're going to select a zip code. So I'm going to select preset area, and I'm going to enter the zip code, which is 22209 that I know about Roslyn. I'm going to search for it, and on the right, the database is going to actually outline that zip code. Okay, so you can see this.
So you didn't do that because you put the 2209 in there.
Yes, it's going to show us exactly the area that we're going to set up the search for to study, to get the reports, the consumer buying, and also the demographic reports.
Okay.
So we're going to go to the next screen.
Okay.
Okay, so here are the reports that we can run for our geographic area we've identified as 22209.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay, my jaw just dropped. That is awesome.
Okay. So we have actually, as I said, this coming from the Census Bureau and the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So we actually have broken down expenditure data.
Okay.
And these are all in tabular format. And the 2010 census report, it actually has some projections out because it's been a while since 2010 data came out. But this is a great start if you are looking at determining, well, who lives in this particular zip code, or who lives in this particular census block or town. Just to point out to you, at the bottom of this page, there's a thematic map report, and that's what I'd like to show you next.
Okay.
Okay, so so this report so the database is running automatically this report against the population data. And this is just one option. So it's showing me now the red and the orange has the highest population concentration in that zip code. So you can see where the residential areas are.
Okay.
So in the lower, in the yellow, for example, that's most likely commercial.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that's giving us something. Let's see if we can go to the next slide and I'll see if I can, okay. So again, in this report, let's suppose we know that our target audience has an income of $100,000 to $149,000. We can automatically select that filter, and it will actually show me a different map behind there. So I wanted to show you all just some of the facets you can use. And again, this is custom. These are custom areas that you're learning more about. You know, you can. This is not just looking at Arlington County. This is looking at a specific zip code within Arlington County.
Wow. So
there is a lot of value in this product. Just as a side point, I had a woman who was trying to identify all the households who had infants in a certain part of Arlington. Yeah, these are the types of questions we get. And we were able to use business decision. And I looked, and we used the facet age 0 to 4. And we were able to find certain neighborhoods in North Arlington had the highest concentration of infants.
So this really will streamline and help you to identify your key target market. So it takes that throwing the noodle on the wall to see what sticks, and it's supporting it with facts.
Correct. Yeah.
As you make your business decision. I sound like a commercial. Oh, wow. Okay.
But we can also see population trends. You know, so there's some more value to that. Let's go to the next screen. And I apologize. This result is actually looking at the expenditure by household. Okay. On entertainment and recreation. So yoga would be under sports.
Okay.
So this sort of coincides with the population density for the highest population areas. It also coincides with what they're spending. So this is how much they're spending annually as in that area. Okay.
Very nice.
164,000 to 190 in this category itself, and this is coming.
So, for instance, I'm starting my yoga studio. I want to place it in an area that has a large amount of people that are spending money in exercise.
Correct.
Bing, bang, boom. There it is.
Yes.
Very cool.
And and I've had startups and entrepreneurs who are using this product to understand also what they're not spending money on.
Yeah.
As an also maybe that's an area that they can enter. In terms of what they're offering.
Nice.
The next slide.
Okay.
Will give us, now when we talk about consumers, I mentioned the third-party market research. So Business Decision uses a vendor that has classified up to 65 consumer segments.
Wow.
Okay? And in this report is just giving me, there's 3 top consumer segments in the zip code that we've identified.
Apprentices.
So apprentices, empire builders, and wizards.
Wow.
And let me just tell you, the library used this product many years ago when we were trying to understand the unique household composition around each of our 8 libraries at the time. So there are libraries, branch libraries that are located in different parts of Arlington. So we wanted to understand: are they singles? Are they couples? Do they have children? What age are those are the children? And this helped inform what kind of resources and programs that we decided to move into.
There goes that noodle.
There we go.
Because right now it makes deciding what inventory or deciding which target to go into if you're looking at a particular area.
Yes.
Very nice.
So this just happens to be the visual representation of the unit. On the next slide, I'm showing you, this is more the tabular view. So we know that almost 88% of the population in 22209 are called apprentices and so on, okay? And in this report, the blue hyperlink on the right, that is the report that's going to outline every consumer segment. So you can read more about each consumer segment.
And what that means.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
And we're going to go to the next slide. And
I like to think of myself as a wizard, but I don't know.
There you go. Well, I can show you more. So again, this report,
okay.
this landscape report is based on a national average. Okay, I want to tell you this right away. The consumer information is correct. On the right side, you'll see household income. That's not correct for Arlington County. Our household median income is $93,000, but it's the consumer behavior that people have found very valuable.
Oh.
Okay. So
okay.
the apprentices, we know that their median age 20s to low 30s. They're single. They're college educated, and we have some information on their lifestyle, what they're spending money on: energy bars, imported wine, subcompact cars. Okay, so this is helpful to know. If we were to go back to that other slide, where these people live. If we go to the next, now I think the apprentices is one.
I'm just in awe of what it's saying about these people. Sorry, let me.
Yeah, no, this will be updated shortly again. Now these are the wizards.
I told you I like that name.
They're a little bit older.
Okay.
And they also have some different buying preferences. Okay.
Scotch, housekeeping, convection. This is very useful.
This is very useful, and people use this product to identify, well, where is my target audience for my product or service?
So say, for instance, I want to do advertising. I'm in the yoga business, and I want to attract more wizards.
Correct.
Then my advertising, if I know that the household likes espresso scotch, and I'm being a little shallow, but hey, I might want to advertise in a coffee magazine that features different types of unique devices of coffee or something, because that's where my wizards are.
Correct.
Nice.
Or even a hyper-local blog.
The hyper-local blog.
As an example.
Very good.
Okay, and then let's see the next slide now. And there are 65 consumer segments, and I will tell you that you can do a search for consumers in Arlington County, and you will see some very different, consumer types, and that's really helpful as well.
Nice.
Business Vision you can search any area in the United States.
So everybody should know out there in Facebook land and in our webinar that these databases aren't just for Arlington; they're across the country.
Yes, this product for the demographic and for the psychographic data is available across the country. So, for example, an Arlington entrepreneur, actually a small business owner, he was looking to evaluate an area outside of Miami, in the Miami suburbs, because he was thinking about buying a business down there.
Wow.
He was looking at the consumer segments around that address.
Very nice.
Okay.
That's powerful tool.
It is powerful. Now, the last one I want to show you, although my favorite one is the Locate Financial Ratios, as I mentioned, is the business plan.
Okay.
The business plans guide, we've had this for a while, but I don't know if even you guys know about the resource that we have.
No, I don't.
Okay, so
actually.
let's go right
there. Let's click in.
So, on the web, there are lots of sites that have sample business plans.
Yes.
Arlington Public Library, we have subscribed to this business plans handbook series, I think now for over 15 years.
Wow.
Okay. And this is a product that's published by a notable publisher, and it actually has sample business plans.
Oh.
Now, what we like about this is this product. Now we buy new editions of the series, I would say annually.
Okay.
And what I've noticed over time is that this series actually has businesses that are timely. So, for example, several years ago, when food trucks were really popular, they had a couple of food truck business plans that they added in their new edition.
Nice.
I've actually just wanted to point it out to you because, again, this is a premium product that you can access. And
I see it has microbrews.
Yes.
That's new.
I've added some of those sample business types because those are some businesses that came to me last year.
Yes.
Okay. And those sample business plans are in the product.
Very nice.
Okay. So we're going to get back to yoga. We're going to click on there and we're going to do a search for yoga.
I feel like I need to exercise.
So this vendor, we have 2 business plans right off the bat that we can actually download.
Nice.
Okay. And look, the Yoga Studio one is 7 pages. It's from 2017. And let's click on just one more and I'll just show you. So here is this sample Yoga Studio business plan. You can listen to it. You could send it to Google Drive.
Oh, wow.
You can email it.
You can even get it in different ways.
Yes, you can even have it translated.
Wow.
Okay. But this is going to give you it's going to give you an actual business plan that was done. Are you too close to business plan? No.
Let me ask, is it an example from existing business?
Correct.
That was successful? I would take it.
I don't believe it's exact business, but the plan itself the structure of the content, you get a feel
Very
for what's
nice.
in these plans. So we have over 350 business plans, and they're niche businesses. There's some niche businesses in there, like
Very
wellness
nice.
consulting, some consulting business plans in there, and it's really good for someone. Most people are coming in and they're really just, I don't even know where to start.
Oh, I love it.
And this is a great tool to actually get a sample business plan to actually make them feel more comfortable moving forward and looking for that information.
And I just should say a disclaimer, or I should please note this, that a lot of the business plans need to be done by the owners. Many times I've had people pay folks to write their business plan, and it's either a regurgitation of the information that you already know to somebody else, or it's somebody else using a template that doesn't transfer to your particular industry sector. So we highly encourage in BizLaunch and at the library and with SCORE and several of our partners, please do your own business plan and then look at this amazing resource that's available to you that you could use as a tool.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the yoga. So this is an example, yoga business plan example. The next slides, I just want to show you, of course.
Books.
I guess we
are talking to a librarian. There are books.
So we do have lots of books and ebooks, but this is just a sampling of some just books that may be of interest to entrepreneurs or small business owners. We really do, and we do purchase books all the time, and in also different formats as well. So the next slide also will have, for a while I got many questions on business valuation, and I would refer people to these, but also refer them to yourself and your colleagues and your SCORE mentors. But again, we do try to make sure that we have, resources that people can go and learn about. Like for a while, I got a lot of questions about business proposals. And we augmented, we added more titles to that.
Oh, so, very nice.
So that's to just let you know that we still are, we still do purchase books in addition to all the other types of content that we purchase.
And if you think about it too, people access information differently. So if the online tool, if you want to be able to touch, feel, smell a book, you have that option as well.
Correct.
Which I love. Correct. Okay.
And then the last slide is just a few links. I do think people should, definitely get a library card if you don't already have one with us. There's a link to the Small Business Research Guide. And then lastly, we do offer book a librarian appointment. There are several library staffers who you can book a librarian with. And on that link, you'll actually see the business librarian calendar. And people can go online, look at my calendar, and they can request an appointment for an hour worth of my time. Typically, I do ask people to give me some context in terms of what they're looking for. What have they already done? Who have they already met with? If they've met with you, Lourdes, or any of the SCORE mentors, and what information are they seeking? So you can book time with me, and we will go through whether identifying resources for you to consider using or even reviewing a research strategy.
I guess going back to your example of each of the different nicks, to know the question that you're trying to answer, and try to really streamline it so that it makes the most sense to be able to find the data that you specifically need.
Yeah, and sometimes, as librarians, we do have to pull things out of people too, and that's okay too. That's part of what we do. But it's also helpful, I think, for people to just think about what is it they need, what have they been having a hard time finding before they come. When they come to me, then I can also be as prepared as possible to work with them.
Wonderful.
And help them further.
That just makes the meeting go by so much.
Exactly, and we want people to leave, with the information that they came in for.
And just to go back to your one dot on the research guides, we earlier today I got to plunge into some of it, and the content is amazing and awesome. And I could tell you put a lot of work in cultivating and mining this information. So I think we're really, really fortunate to have your expertise and the assistance that's out there. And with all of that big juicy hug, and I don't know if you saw, we all have happy feet because I think the information, and we're all agreed, is awesome. And it's that great 4-letter word, which is free, and it just makes us happy. And we do have time for questions. We want to thank you for being with us here at lunch today, but also we asked you to raise your hand for some questions, and I am now going to throw it to my friend Rohini, who has been cultivating those questions. Rohini, can you hear me?
Yes, hello. We do have a couple of questions today.
Great.
Michelle would like to ask, she said she's looking to where to open her second location and trying to get information on where that should be, what part of Arlington, Falls Church, Vienna, McLean, etc. And she says, I want to see how my competitors are doing in each of those areas and where there is less competition. Do I need to look at each area individually, or is there a database I should look at that will show me a map of the areas with the specific demographics that I'm looking for? Example, household income and average median home price. Trying to figure out how to get the information quickest. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so first and foremost, I would recommend doing a search in the U.S. Businesses module of referenceUSA, doing an advanced search with the NAICS or the SIC codes you have for your competitors. And when you get your search results, I would use the heat map. There's a heat map, and what it does, it actually will show you on a map where those businesses are located, and it will show you a concentration. I think your second question, I would use Business Decision.
Okay.
And I would look at those particular, she's looking at her competitor.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the second question was when she mentioned house values. Let me think on that a little bit, because I think it would be a mix of referenceUSA and Business Decision. But feel free to, email me. I can send my email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll send out, at the end of this, we'll send out Alexandra's contact information in the actual survey, the evaluation form, and we'll also be sending you all. I was trying to do it while we were talking, and I messed up the PowerPoint, but also the PowerPoint will be sent out to everyone as well. One of the things that I would say as you're looking at a variety of different locations is also to reach out to your economic development offices. We also have data. If you're looking at, say, Fairfax County versus Arlington versus Alexandria, if you go to the websites of the economic development offices, they have a lot of information about the different communities, what the costs are, what the demographics are. Is it a growing area? What is the area known for? And then you can create kind of a spreadsheet on your own that where you can start to identify exactly where your target market is in each of these different areas. So I hear we got a lot of questions, so I'm going to throw it back to Rohini again.
Yes, our next question is, are we able to have access to the library in Arlington if we're not residents of this area?
Yes. Yes, you are. When you say you're not residents of this area, where are they residents of?
Fairfax, in Maryland.
Yes, so we actually know. So if you don't live in Arlington, that's okay. If you live in DC, Alexandria, Fairfax, Falls Church, Loudoun, Prince William, Frederick, Montgomery, or PG counties, you can get a library card with us. Those library systems, and we all have reciprocal agreements. So if you live in Fairfax, you can get an Arlington Public Library card.
Thank you. Next question.
Next question. How about e-commerce? This is a question from Daphne. She says, I'm a home decorating online store. Is there a way to do competitive analysis of other similar online businesses like mine?
Yes, there is a way. The online businesses, the research that's out there is somewhat limited. Again, she can contact me, and I can refer her to a resource that we don't have access to, but is locally available.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I think the theme of some of this is, if you're having a hard time uncovering or finding data, you can reach directly out to Alexandra, and she'll be able to identify other resources that you could potentially use.
Correct. And I do have entrepreneurs or business owners that I've worked with over the years who contact me on occasion and say, hey, where do I find this? Mm-hmm. So that's fine. Yeah, I think I just need to ask some more questions about the type of business in terms of e-commerce. What kind of e-commerce?
Okay. And I'll reiterate too to everybody out there that we will be following up. So if you still have an additional question, I know we have a couple more questions to go, but just so you know, I'm going to be sending out an evaluation later today. If you respond to that, in that evaluation, I'll have Alexandra's contact information, as well as the PowerPoint. Okay, Rahini, do we have any other questions?
That is actually all of our questions for today.
Oh, wow. I think we ended at a
good time.
Right on time. Thank you all so much for joining us at lunch today. We really appreciate the conversation. It's amazing that the amount of information that's available to you that's free. Remember, I had the happy feet up there. And we look forward to seeing you at another webinar very soon, as well as another BizLaunch workshop. And we thank Alexandra and Arlington Public Libraries for providing these amazing resources to our community at large. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day.